you got Crohn's or colitis?
I have colitis, and I was first diagnosed when I was 16 years old. And at that time, obviously, I was at college, so it's quite a difficult time to be diagnosed with something like this.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it still took at least 12 to 18 months before I was fully diagnosed.
Wow.
So obviously, there's a lot of medication, a lot of hospital trips, a lot of time out of college, which obviously was ongoing for a while. And obviously, ultimately, in the end, unfortunately, I've had to have emergency surgery. So I have had a stoma, but I've now been reversed and I live with a J pouch.
Right. How long was it between your diagnosis and getting your stoma?
It was probably about 5 years
Right.
between that. So I had a lot of treatment, like immune suppressants and steroids, admissions into hospital, etc. And then ultimately that ended in a emergency surgery for a ruptured colon,
Yeah.
which is where I had a full colectomy at that point. So that was removal of the colon, removal of the large intestine and part of the rectum. So that then resulted in an ileostomy.
Yeah.
And that was at 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I was diagnosed at 23 and got the diagnosis fairly quickly. There was some, they weren't really sure at first what it was until I collapsed and ended up going into hospital, and then they did loads of tests and then came up with this diagnosis of ulcerative colitis, which I'd never ever heard of before.
Yeah.
But I had it for about 10 years before then. Yeah, it was sort of living on medication and sort of remissions and flare-ups. And then in 2012,
Yeah.
I had the same surgery as you. I had the colectomy and had my stoma. And again, I had the same thing, so I've had the reverse and I've got the J pouch as well. So, what have you got?
I have Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed when I was 20 in 2009, but I'd been through many years of diagnosis with irritable bowel syndrome. Unfortunately, I got my diagnosis on the Tuesday, and by the Sunday, I lost my colon.
Wow.
So it was pretty,
Also.
yeah. I then made the decision to have the permanent stoma in 2013 because my rectum was seriously inflamed, and yeah, still living with active disease, but
And you've still got your stoma?
yeah, my stoma can never be reversed.
That's the same as me. It would have been 2011 now. I'd just moved back to Birmingham. I'd never had any issues or anything, no signs of any kind of illness of any kind. I wasn't feeling too well, so I just went to the doctors to get checked over, and it turned out I never left the doctors. I went straight to hospital. I was rushed into A&E. I was in hospital for around about 3 months.
Wow.
I moved back to Rotherham, and it was only then that I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. And then I had a few months where I was okay, but then I opted for to have the stoma surgery because that was the only way that it was going to be rectified, really. I did have the pouch surgery, but unfortunately, due to all the complications that I've had in the past, it wasn't going to take. So I had that for about 12 hours, and then I got the permanent stoma as well.